This is the nerve-wracking part.
Right. This is the nerve-wracking part?
Yeah. All right, cool. So we go back here and boom. Bow, what's good with y'all tonight? It's your man Donald King. I'm joined by the lovely Candace. We're in her humble abode. You know what? It's like I've been telling my people for a minute that I'm about to get out here and start trying to do some remote shooting. And Candace has a podcast series that she's hosted me on before. So, you know, I wanted to make this one of my very first stops. It's like, how long have we known each other?
Probably upwards of about 4 years.
Upwards of about 4 years, man. It's like she's decided to imbibe me again. But this time, cheers. I have had food in my system, so I'm not gonna go wild. Anyway, what's good with y'all tonight, man? It's like we chilling over here. It's like get center frame. It's like I'm sitting over here and I'm
gotta scoot over.
Yeah. It's like all right, cool, man. So anyway, by the way, if y'all hear some scratching on the door, it's Candace's furry friend.
He's very excited about Donald being here. He's upset that he can't come out and show you love.
His name is Patrick.
Patch for short.
Anywho, man. So you know, we're out here chilling, and it's like we're gonna try a dual podcast. You know, it's like I've been going on my platform for a while. What most people haven't had an opportunity to do though is see me sort of interact with someone in real time. A lot of times you guys see me reading my comments and then it's like I'm responding to people, but it's never really it's not a flow of conversation. And don't mind the scratching. I'm pretty sure you can still hear me over it, but yeah, just you know, we're chilling out here and we're gonna do it. So we're gonna talk about you know, flow and creativity. All right. This is an area that it's like I'm pretty well versed in. As you see me doing all these podcasts, I'm always in flow state. Like you never see me. This isn't rehearsed. I mean, granted, a lot of years have gone into discipline in my mind towards being able to organize these word models and these conceptual frames. But for the most part, you know, everything just comes straight off. I'm shooting from the hip. So I'm gonna like dial it back a little bit, and I'm gonna let the professional interviewer do her thing.
One thing about it, I am a very curious person, so that's how we met. Mm-hmm. I kind of just like instantly started asking you questions about life. Like, right. You know, you had such interesting things to say, and like you said things I never heard anybody say before. So the paradigm was just unique.
I appreciate it.
I'm always interested to learn what I don't know.
Right.
So I know you put like a meme up on your page, and it was like this Venn diagram, and it intersected, and it had you described it as being like the perfect like visual representation of flow. Mm-hmm. So on one side it was, what was it, discipline? Discipline. And that's what you did your podcast on last week, mm-hmm. which was great, by the way.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And then the other one was it was discipline, and it was don't tell me, it was discipline and was it cooperation or submission?
It was surrender. Right.
And then it was flow. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I like pondered on that, and that made me want to talk about it with you.
Very good. All right. So when I first saw that meme, it wasn't necessarily just about how, you know, it works for me. The first image that popped in my mind was a jazz musician. Now, when I was down in Atlanta, I worked with a lot of cats who were in the music industry, right? And you know, it's like I had my pinky toe in it. It's like I was almost in, but yeah, I worked with a couple of different artists. But the reason why I even mention that is because, well, when you become a really skilled musician, mm-hmm. you know these frames, right? You understand what playing in this key means. You understand what playing in this scale means. You practice this scale so many times, backwards and forwards. And you played with different combinations so much that when you just hit a space where you're just in it, mm-hmm. you're flowing. Mm-hmm. You're flowing. You're growing. Everything is just flowing through you, but it's a combination of discipline and a combination of surrender. Like, you have to give yourself to the moment. You have to give yourself to the music. You have to give yourself to the entire feel of everything. And when you surrender, when you surrender and just let it do what it does, it carries you in places where carries you in places where you probably wouldn't go if your I guess your conscious mind was sort of trying to guide you there. I've done that a lot of times. Like, you know, it's even when you see somebody like coming down the court of like coming down the basketball court, like let's say LeBron, and you see him just throw something behind his back, or Allen Iverson. He was really good in Flow State. He would see this one little opening right over here. And in this one little opening, somehow he contorted his body and made it coordinate with the basketball and do all these other things. So somehow he's right here, and you're like, how did you get from here to here? He couldn't tell you the steps he took.
Nope.
But it's a combination of all those hours of discipline, all those years dedicated to this craft, where all of a sudden you just hit flow state. Hey, yo, anybody who's out there, it's like if y'all can give us a quick shout to let us know that you are seeing this. I'm working on a different network right now, and I don't know if it's coming through just yet. So
let me check mine too, and I'll let you know if I can see.
Oh yeah, touche. See, I didn't even see.
Touche.
Smart. I wasn't even thinking like that, man. I need a little more drink in me. Some drink.
Let's see. Donald King is live now. And I am going to share your video to my page.
Okay, touche.
People are watching. You got 4 viewers.
I got 4 viewers. Uh-oh, look at me. I'm balling. All right. Yeah, but anyway, but that's the idea. When you hit a combination of surrender and discipline, you get flow state. Mm-hmm. You get flow state. It's really simple. So everything that you guys see me do, like even I put out stories all the time. The reason I make so many typos, the reason I miss so many words, I'm literally typing that fast. I'm typing so fast, my fingers can't keep up. It's coming out of me so fast, like I can come up with a frame that fits an entire parable into a story that's maybe 5-10 pages long. But I can do that with pretty much anything. But it's a combination of just having taken so many years to organize my thoughts and test myself against really high level opposition and even trolls, and allowing myself to sort of, take the heat and fend under pressure, fend off aggression under pressure. Mm-hmm. And after a while, you get so disciplined at it that it's like, once you get an idea in your mind, you surrender to the idea, and all of a sudden, the discipline carries you to wherever you're trying to go. It's kind of like in that last podcast that we shot over your place. I was.
You were still in flow state.
I was so.
No matter if even if you were in a little altered state, the flow state was still with you.
Thank you. What is it, brother? I'm sorry. The word. He's in the zone. Enjoying the conversation. It's so enjoyable to be in, but I can't do it intentionally. Absolutely right. Man, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You can't do flow state intentionally. But here's the thing. You and me, we've kicked it before. You hit flow state. And especially in a lot of the posts that I've been seeing from you lately, you demonstrating your understanding for a lot of the principles that's like I've been talking about through the years, and not regurgitating and rehashing what I'm saying, demonstrating your own awareness for how it fits and flows together from your view and vantage point. I'm sitting down here, and it's like, you get to a point where conveyance is just very fluid. It's natural. It's organic. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's like when you try to think your way to it, you fuck it up. I do that when I'm trying to sing. In karaoke, I'm a beast. I get up there like, loving you. But then it's like, I'm sitting here and in the studio trying to record my own songs, and I have an idea of how it's supposed to go in my mind, and I fuck it up every time because I'm chasing the idea instead of just being in the moment with it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm talking too much. Brother Leroy Green! What's good with your boy?
Pizza for Papa Green's Pizza.
Brother, direct your pizza to Papa Green's Pizza. You should be here. We are partaking of alcohol.
Yeah.
But
speaking of the jazz musician thing, it's so interesting that you say that because I don't know if anybody's seen that new Disney Pixar movie Soul. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
So it's about a musician. And they have like a couple scenes in the movie where they depict this musician, pouring his passion into the keys, and he goes into flow state. So in the movie, they visually depict it as like he goes into this like little blue world and he elevates, and there's a bunch of other like creatives there doing whatever they do, and they're all just like getting carried away. And that's what made me want to talk about flow in the first place.
Now I gotta see it.
You gotta see it.
I gotta see it.
You gotta see it.
Hey, first of all, your tone is racist, and you need to check another special.
That's racist. But no, like you know what I was thinking? Like I was walking my dog a few days back, and I was thinking about flow. I was thinking about that meme that you posted with the discipline and the surrender, and then the flow in the middle. And I was just thinking, okay, like naturally when you see something that simple, it's only simple with understanding. So I have to have a really good understanding of what discipline is. Then I have to really have a good understanding of what surrender is. So you know what I came up with?
What's that?
I was like, you have to be ready and willing, and that makes you able.
Ooh, that shit's fire. I like that. That's nice.
That's how I felt about it.
I might have to jack that from you, but yeah, ready and willing. And that makes
you know,
able.
it lends you to ability.
Right. That's real talk, man. That's a beautiful like sort of connection you made with that there. I really like that. Yeah, I couldn't have said that better myself. I really couldn't have. But I concur. Honestly, it's like a lot of times it's like you hear me talk about my experience. I spent so much time in it. And you know, it did everything about my experience, but you know, me being what I purport to be, and again, I don't try to sell anybody on that. Me being what I purport to be, I want to detail this shit so clean this time around, because every couple generations somebody pops up being like, oh hey, I'm this thing, oh hey, I'm this thing. And not even generations, it's like now it's like every day, and it's like it's real easy to go after the ideal of it, but when you start getting into the real work of it and sort of the nooks and crannies and things start getting messy and real work is required, then all of a sudden the idea goes out the window, and people really need to see how messy it is. It's not some ideal thing. It's not something where you're just kind of like, you know, oh, everybody bow before me. It's like I'm special. It's like, no, motherfucker, you got to get in there. You got to do
some work to it.
It's a lot of work, and you know, it's like a lot of times people see me ready, willing, in the middle. Brother Daniel comes in. Ready, willing, meet in the middle. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, you know, it's like, again, a lot of people see the end product of what I do. They see the end product of me going back and forth with trolls or going back and forth with intellectuals and academics. They see like, oh man, he organizes his thoughts so well. Oh, he puts this together and this together so well. First of all, I have a thing that's sort of like enhancing my ability to do that, but beyond me having that thing, it's still years and years and years and years and years of discipline. It's doing a lot of shit that you don't want to do, not letting comfort zones and status beliefs get in the way of you doing the work to make sure you understand what the hell you're talking about. I do more work to falsify myself than I do to falsify anyone else. That's my own mental discipline, where I sit here and it's like, you know, it's like even if I feel confident, I see something through the avatar perspective and I'm like, oh man, it's cool. But then it's like, I still got to go back and do the work. Damn, am I saying that right? Is that right? I mean, shit. Well, I mean, like, yeah, I can see it, and the other stuff that I've seen has been fairly consistent, but you know what? I mean, shit, there's a lot of other people out here who've been studying a lot of stuff. They've been studying a lot of stuff, and they've made some measures too. They've documented some evidence too. Let me go and check what I see against what they're talking about. And as long as what I see, the framing of what I see outperforms the limits of what they're talking about, then I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm straight. But sometimes it's like, you know, I'll come across something that I had never even considered before. And it's like, just think about like the avatar perspective, like a pair of magic space goggles. Sometimes somebody will say something that's in an area that you've never even looked in before.
Yep.
And when you look in that area, you kind of got to be like, damn. Okay, so first off, I have to make sure that what I'm seeing is correct. And more importantly, I never take myself so seriously that I dismiss anyone else's findings or anyone else's theories or perspectives or any of those other things. Make sure that I'm not getting in the idea of me. So do the work of making sure that your shit is valid. Do the work of making sure you understand what you see and how it compares to what other people have seen. Make sure you understand what the fuck they're talking about too.
Testing for validity.
You have to.
Honest. So let me ask you this.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna go back to the way I understand it, like being ready and then willing. So we talked about discipline. You talked about discipline last week.
Right.
How does someone foster the ability to surrender themselves to their creative expression?
Damn, that's a great question. I gotta think on that for a second. I feel
like people sometimes I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Are so wound up and uptight. We second guess ourselves.
Mm-hmm,
we struggle with confidence.
Touché.
And I know, like, for me, my podcast, I had it in my mind for, like, a long time.
Right.
And I was trying to get other people to do it with me. And I was like, I'm going to do it. Like, I had to actually believe in myself. It took a lot. Like, how does someone get to the point where they start to surrender over to the possibility of expressing what they might have inside?
Bravery. Like, I'm going to tell you this right now. Again, I'm not trying to make everything come back to me, but I take so much egg on my face. Sometimes you got to be... You have to get past that fear of being too scared to try.
Yeah.
Getting started is hard. Last week I was kicking it with my brother Adrian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and him, we're cleaning out this hoarder house, and it's just him and me, and we're herking it out. We removed, I think, I'm going to say, and I know that we were over, so I'm going to say it was somewhere in the area of close to 7 tons of garbage from a 2-bedroom house with a basement. It was insane. It was insane. And when I first walked into that motherfucker, man, when I first walked in, my first thought was like, there's no way in hell. And my spirit immediately broke. And I was like, man, I was really looking forward to, getting some things together. And it's like, I had this on my list. If I said I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. And I looked at this huge fucking mess, and I'm like, God damn, there's no way we can get this done. There's no way we can get this done. And then the thought subsided the very second I went and moved one thing. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we're going to move this out here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I just came up with a to-do list on the fly. And we started, and we made a little bit of progress. We cleaned out one room, and I'm like, that's enough. Mm-hmm. And then we got onto the next room. And then I got into the second room. And it's like within the first day, I say we cleared maybe 2.5, 3 rooms. And I went down into the basement, and oh my God, it was insane. It was fucking insane. And I didn't want to touch it. It was filthy. It was moldy. It was all these other things. And I had every reason to say, no, I'm not doing it. And you know what I did? I started. And before you know it, half the room is cleared. And then 3/4 of the room is cleared. And then we're moving all the heavy stuff up. 3.5 days later, we're done. And I'm tired, but I'm done. Mm-hmm. And that's the perfect analogy for how to develop discipline. You start, and you don't quit when it gets boring. You don't quit when it gets tiresome. You don't quit when you're hurting. You make a promise to yourself that no excuse is good enough to make you stop.
That disciplined approach supports the willingness and the surrender.
Yeah, it is.
In real time.
Because literally, that's what it boiled down to. It's like I literally did have to surrender to the idea that this thing was bigger than me. And if I stopped and thought about it long enough, I wouldn't have done it.
Discipline sounds like literally like so important. It shows itself to be, what will give you the attitude of I have to do it. It's in front of me. Got to get it done.
Right, but again, discipline is a commitment to yourself, but it's your inner sense of accountability. If I say I'm going to do this, and I don't break my word to me, I get it done. Every day, and I'm just being honest, every day it's like I can find a million reasons to quit doing this shit. I can find a million reasons to quit doing this shit. It's lonely, it's boring, It's a lot of work, and it's thankless work. It's thankless work, and you know, and the only thing it's met with is antipathy and desires to make me small and humble me. Competition and all that other shit, and it gets old, and after a while you're like, why am I even trying to help these people? It's a lot. But you know, my ex-wife, she said to me all the time, she's like, the universe picked the right one, because I just have a sense of, I'm not going to quit until I've given my very best. When there's nothing left in me, that's when I'm done. And it's a very simple principle. A lot of people may not subscribe to the way that I describe reality as being God, but if you, regardless of whether or not you believe reality is God, it's a very simple concept. I don't let personal belief tell me when to stop. I don't let fatigue tell me when to stop. I don't let pain tell me when to stop. I don't let my anger and frustration tell me when to stop. I let reality tell me when to stop. When reality says you can go no further, I'm done. Period. Until then, I don't have a good enough excuse to not try. And that boils down to discipline. And when you have that discipline, it translates into to flow state, because when you surrender to the idea that reality is bigger than you, and when you surrender to the idea that the things that you're trying to accomplish in life, they're bigger than you. They're bigger than how you want to see yourself. They're bigger than all the things that you hope to gain. When you understand that there's so much more important shit happening in reality than how you're affected by it and your personal feelings and beliefs and all this other shit, and then you're like, yo, man, shit, I can't come up with a good enough excuse to not be great. I can't come up with a good enough excuse to not be great. So guess what? I'm gonna give 2,000%, and I'm gonna let reality tell me where my 100 is, where my 100% falls and where it doesn't. You surrender to the idea that you are not who determines what's great or your limitations. Reality does. And if you keep that model in mind, there's no way you can lose.
You don't want to go into idealism and stay in realism.
Goddamn.
Here's another thing too that I was thinking about. Looks like you got some comments.
We got some comments. They coming back in. We in flow state, people. This is what happens. Your tone. Your tone. See, you doing too much. Let me see. Brother Armando Marrero. I know a lot about flow state. Jazz musicians have said, fake it till you make it. I'm a painter, a poet, musician, human. Tuning in requires subtlety. Speaking only for myself. Sometimes as a poet, it feels like I'm picking words like fruit on a tree. That is beautifully expressed. That's beautifully expressed, brother. And it's like, you know what? Hell yeah, I agree. I concur with everything that you just said. I'm all of those things as well. So it's like you already know we got a connection. I appreciate you so much. What are we drinking? What are we drinking, Sister Candace?
Well, I am your personal bartender. We're drinking some tequila.
Tequila?
With some like seltzer water. And some like coconut pineapple low calorie drink.
And coconut pineapple low calorie drink. I'm watching my girlish figure.
It's tropical tasting.
Yo, brother, I'm sorry the word. I definitely agree with the point about bravery being required. It reminds me of a saying I repeat to others often: if you're scared, then do it scared.
Word.
Fuck yeah. Hey.
Word.
Girl, I'm telling you, you need to meet this dude.
I'm his Facebook friend now.
I know, but he's so dope. Man, we used to kick it out in Arizona. He and my ex-girlfriend, man. It's like, let me tell you this, man. We would go to this ice cream spot at night. It's still one of my very favorite memories of Arizona. It's just me, him, her, all good friends, kicking it. And it's like 1 a.m. at the cool ass ice cream spot in Arizona. I forget the name of it. Was it Republic Ice Cream? Man.
I love ice cream.
Dude, it's like, no, because he made his own ice cream flavors there, and he used to be like some sort of corporate executive guy. Brother Daniel Yum. Indeed. Let me see. Daniel comes in. Where do you think you can or think you can't? You're right. in the flow state. Enjoy both your vibes. We enjoy you too, brother, and so grateful for you tuning in. Strange. Y'all don't understand. This is something most people don't understand about me. I'm a fucking clown. I have fun. I have fun. I say a lot of serious shit as Avatar, but I'm a very fun energy, and I don't want to be self-descriptive in that way because it could be self-idealizing, but it's like if I entertain no one but myself, I get more laughs than a few. So it's like y'all see me acting silly. This is literally how I am. Like Brother Absurd could to novelty ice cream. Yes, novelty ice cream. Thank you. It wasn't Republic. Republic was another one that I used to go to, but novelty ice cream. Oh man, dude, I miss my brother. Yo, when I'm out there again, we gotta politic and parlay, man. Fucking mountains, man. This shit is fire. But yeah, it's like I'm a clown. I like to have fun, even if I entertain no one but myself. It's like I like having a good time. I like laughing it out.
For sure.
So damn, it's like, are we out of focus? Because it's like it looks like everything is on me. I mean, like shit.
I think they can see me.
Okay, touche. I'm just saying.
It's
like,
you know what?
What's that?
So I wouldn't be me if I wasn't thinking about two things at the same time.
Obviously.
Flow state sounds so great when we're talking about music and poetry and everything, writing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dark side to it, quite possibly, right?
Ooh.
What if some people are in the flow state of bad behavior or like poor habits or tainted thinking or corrupt energies and shit? Like they are disciplined toward the wrong types of things. I don't really like the word wrong. It's so judgy, but you know what I mean? Like less beneficial or
no, wrong
whatever. Wrong
is good.
They're disciplined toward wrong things, and then they surrendered it to it. Like they're not exercising a greater willpower to overcome it. So they're in the flow of bad behavior. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking this because I used to watch the show called Ayanla Fix My Life. Mm-hmm. You heard of that?
Yeah, I like it.
And she would always talk about, like, she would get people to put their stuff out there, and her whole thing was we have to interrupt the pattern. So some people are in a flow, and I feel like in some cases it's a good thing. It's to be fostered, like creativity and good things. But like, what about those who are in a flow state to their detriment, and they need that interrupted? What do you think? The dark side of being in flow
First
state.
of all, Strange, that was a beautiful segue. And I'm going to agree with everything that you just said. There's a lot of people who hit flow state with negative, toxic behaviors. Something that it's like I talk about often these days is, I talk about narcissism, and specifically about narcissism being a defense mechanism. Mm-hmm. I'm speaking from personal experience, but it's like, we become accustomed to, pardon me, seltzer water, of course. But it's like we become accustomed to doing certain things, and these habits and practices, they become rituals, and we hit these sort of ritualistic approaches to doing toxic things and negative things that continually draw bad energy into our life and continually keep us out of balance. Absolutely, like you practice you practice choosing corruption over balance. You practice self-idealizing over sort of thinking conscientiously about the world around you. You practice being selfish. You practice being competitive, and you hit a flow state of this, and then after a while, it becomes habitual. Mm-hmm. It becomes habitual, and it's just like any drug. Like people don't understand smoking crack. You're in a flow state.
Yeah, you are to the point where you could continue to smoke that crack and just flow and flow and flow and flow.
That's it. You be flowing. It's wild, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So it's like that's a beautiful. Now you know what, I wasn't even looking at it in that particular light, but yeah, that's a true story. We have a tendency. We can hit flow state when it comes to bad things too, and it still falls to that very same principle. It's discipline and surrender. If you discipline yourself to compete all the time, then every time some opportunity presents itself for you to compete, guess what? You're gonna surrender to that. You're gonna surrender to that inclination that you've nurtured within yourself. You know, it's like if you are in the habit of being aggressive and you're always being mad and you're constantly consuming things that reinforce this notion that it's your right to be angry and upset. Anytime something presents itself for you to lash out at or you to feel aggressive towards, and guess what? You're gonna aggress. You are what you practice doing most.
Yeah.
You are what you practice doing most, and you discipline yourself consciously and unconsciously. You discipline yourself to be a particular type of way. And
I think that it's arguable that we're in flow state more often than we realize, but what is the kind of like the concept behind the flow state? What's powering it?
What's powering it?
Like, you know, sometimes we can just say, okay, I'm in the flow state of my art. But sometimes people might be in flow state of things that, you know, they might be doing something automatically and they're not necessarily aware of what's behind that automatic behavior.
As a person who enters flow state often, I'll say this. A lot of times when I'm in flow state, what drives me, the engine that's moving me towards a destination is intention. When I settle on a destination, my will to reach that destination gets me there, and sort of the ground fills in beneath my feet as I walk in that direction. But a lot of times there are people who sort of live unconsciously, and what motivates them in that way is sort of desire. And when you have, and I would make a distinction between desire and intention in this way. Intention is sort of, I would say, intrinsic, in that you understand the type of impact you want to make onto a specific medium or onto reality, whereas desire is kind of like a hunger or a deficit that steers you towards things. It's the difference between, I say, a genius and a zombie. A zombie's brains, and a zombie is chasing down what they desire. And, you know, somebody like, for instance, using him as sort of a throwaway trope, Tony Stark, when he's trying to create something, it's an intention guiding him towards where he's trying to get to, and all the pieces sort of fall into place in that way. But it really boils down to how you're motivated towards reality. Are you motivated by a desire to sort of impact onto the world, or are you motivated by a desire to consume from the world? And I think that sort of puts it into the different categories. It puts it into different realms of consideration. Hopefully I said that well enough.
You did. And as you're speaking, I'm thinking to myself, okay, intention and desire. Like, you know, that phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intention.
Touche.
Is that intention absent consideration of reality's feedback?
Ooh, beautifully questioned. God damn, you on fire, girl. Shit. Yeah. And I'll say it like this. It's paved with good intentions. And let me change the frame like this. The road to hell is paved by people trying to be good characters and or good citizens. When you are trying to look up a specific way, and when you're trying to project to audiences, both real and imagined, this character you're pretending to be, and you prioritize defending your inner story, the collection of meanings, symbols, beliefs, and effects that sum to create your identity. When you prioritize defending this story over being cognizant of reality, then of course that's going to lead you to hell. It divorces you from reality. You're like, yo, how many people you see sit down here? Oh, I had to do this. I had to, because they were gonna expose me. They were gonna, that was a poor segue that I just did there. But the idea is very simply, so many people do so many rotten things trying to protect their identity that it removes them from reality further and further by the second.
Enactment versus embodiment.
Goddamn, you on fire.
Like,
shit, man, you know, people, to run this back.
I feel like, and I was just thinking about that, like, you know, just from my own personal lifestyle right now, what I'm going through.
Right.
I'm way more, I'm striving to be a really whole integrated person. Like, I don't want to favor one part of my personality over another. I want everything to be together, and I want to feel like a sense of like I want to feel like Bruce Leroy with the glow. Like I want to feel like, like I want to feel powerful, like empowered. Right. And I was just thinking, like, it's not about acting that out. It's actually like embodying it.
Right.
Makes sense?
No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like intentions versus desires.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I gotta journal about that one. I gotta chew on that one.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying. Yo, we got some more. Brother Daniel Grabowski. I love that last name. Grabowski. It reminds me of the Big Lebowski.
Dude.
I know what I'm saying.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Right. Yo, it's like both of y'all are super balanced and deep divers. Beautiful flow of conversation on these deep topics. My brother, much respect to you. I appreciate you. Yo, brother Armando comes back in. Recently, I had a fall. Broke 3 ribs. Hospital staff treated me with respect because I also treated them with respect. My brother, man. Hey, first of all, yo, what country are you in? You got to tell me about what country you're in. Also, I'm sorry to hear that it's like you broke your ribs and that you had a fall, man. But hopefully you're on the mend well, and I'm glad that it's like people treated you well because you treated them well too. It's like, man, that's beautiful in that it's like you're getting reciprocity. Your energy is drawing the right energy to you, and man, it's within the midst of your own tragedy, you found beauty, and I think that's amazing as well. And Brother Daniel comes back in on flame on. You know what I'm saying?
In fuego.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, you know what? I was mad because I left my other big lights back at my spot because it's like I was in a rush to get over here. I was running a bit behind today, but it's like I like this. But in terms of the light in the background and
something
stuff like
different for your viewers.
It fits. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like they get tired of looking at my ugly mug anyway. I'm not a pretty man, but I try. It's like I put on a bit of mascara every now and again.
You cray.
Well, brother, you in the U.S.? Okay, very good. It's like I see your name is Armando Marrero, and for some reason, it's like, I have a lot of friends from around the world. It's like I'm getting more friends from a lot of Latin countries and African countries, and I have so many friends from Pakistan. So many friends from Pakistan that it's like I literally have to ask people what country are you from, because I got a lot of friends in Canada. It's like and the UK. It's like apparently my friends list is growing. People think that I'm maybe not so terrible. No, I'm joking. Everybody thinks I'm terrible.
You're talking about really good topics too.
Well, thank you. I try. I may not always do good. And this is also the other part about flow state that I want to mention. In flow state, you're not always going to be perfect. Sometimes your biggest mistakes, what you would consider your biggest mistakes in your cognitive mind, they end up turning into some of your biggest triumphs. I was listening to one of my very favorite songs the other day of all time, and it's Giant Steps by John Coltrane. And it's, I literally listened to it last night on my way back from Indiana. I was up there kicking it with my little boy, my son. And I'm listening to this record, and first of all, John Coltrane, the master of flow state, like he's such a genius. It's like, man, every time I think that I'm any sort of musician, I go and I listen to him, and I'm reminded of what a hack I am. But the point of it is, he wrote this song, Giant Steps, and it is, for all intents and purposes, a masterpiece. It is probably one of the greatest songs ever recorded. And you listen to it, and he's playing. So I have synesthesia. I can see the principles he's playing, and I'm like, how did you? Oh, how? And I'm just listening to this man, and I'm blown away. But that wasn't the point. See, his pianist on the song, the scales were so weird to him, and they were so disjointed and discombobulated that they recorded, and the pianist says he messed up through the entire thing. He messed up, and if you go back and you listen to it with a critical ear, you'll be like, oh, I can see where you messed up there, and I can see where you messed up there, and all these other things. But it's like, it was so perfect. It was so perfect that when he was in flow state, even his mistakes sounded perfect. I watched back one of my videos. Oh man, Brother Armando, I'm gonna get this in 1 second, and get to you in 1 second, Brother Armando. But we, man, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this Giant Steps thing, and the pianist says that he messed up so much, but he turned out to be so perfect. And the funny thing, I was listening back to one of my videos the other day, and I did it after I did one of these major hauls that I was telling you about last week. I was completely out of it. Like, I was more out of it than I was when I was drunk on Candace's podcast.
I got on my little drunk.
I was dead to the world. But somehow, I went back and I listened to it, and I'm like, man, I was that cogent.
You were there.
I was that dialed in. I didn't know that I was.
You were.
I didn't know that I was. I thought that I messed up everywhere. And even what would have been my mistakes end up turning into to something that I'm not ashamed to post to my channel.
No matter what, though, you bring the real, and that's the thing. Like, I was just thinking about flow state in the sense of like the spectrum, right? Like, there's just this wide range of, you name it. Like, let's say there's 50,000 flavors,
right?
And you just go in flow state and you go hone in and pick one, and you just work with that, and you just express it in whatever medium you do.
Right.
You're getting very specific in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think flow state resonates with people so well because there's a quote that I like never forgotten, and it said, "The more specific you are, the more universal you'll become." Don't you like that? That set me free.
You fired.
All you have to do is just express it in its rawness, its realness, with your flavor. Be specific, be yourself, be authentic. You'll be universal. People will pick up on that, and they'll feel you.
Oh, you fired tonight, man. Shit, I might have to co-host more often.
I like it.
Right. It's like I'm glad this is a comfortable setup. Hey, we got some more. You need Candace's plug, please. Hell yeah, I got you, brother Daniel. Candace fire, man. You got to check out her podcast. She's fire. Yo, let me see. Brother Daniel said you born and raised here in the U.S., dual citizen of U.S. and Poland, first generation. Fancy pants. Yo, that's my man. So you're a Cuban exile. Oh man, Armando. I need the backstory, bro. Like, hopefully we can hook one of these up, because it's like, I love to have you on the podcast. I actually downloaded one app where I'm actually able to do screen shares in podcasts, but it's on a different platform, and it'll come to me in a second.
Riverside?
No, not Riverside. Does Riverside do video?
Yeah, I have that. That's my second little secret weapon platform, but I usually just go on Anchor for free. I like audio. This video is new to me.
Okay, well, it's like, now you addicted, so that's your problem. That's your problem to deal with now. And I'm just saying, like, let me see. Coltrane's Giant Steps is the shit. Yes, you're right. Ooh, but Brother Armando, we hanging. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. I'm fun, so don't judge me. Anyway, but you felt it. Yes, Brother Daniel, I did feel it. And here's the funny thing about it. When I'm so disciplined in what I've been doing for so long that even when I'm not in it, I'm in it. Even when I'm not in it, I'm in it. And that's flow state.
And that's like the movie Soul. Let me tell you, I don't want to spoil it.
No, you got to tell me about it.
But there was like at the end, the protagonist is talking about just wanting to just be on the stage and just do his thing and like express himself. And she's like, "Sweetheart, you're like a fish in water, and you're looking for the ocean. Like, you're there. You're there already."
See, you messing with my emotions now. Now I have to go and watch this movie. Your own Candace.
It's a good movie. Some people have criticisms of it for other reasons.
I don't
but
care.
The message is there for sure.
Man, that was a point that I was talking about earlier today. Everybody in that goddamn criticisms, it's too much. It's too
the
much.
Coming to America sequel.
Yeah, it's like everybody has it in their mind that it's like, everyone needs to know their contempt and needs to know their dissatisfaction, and it goes to the point that I was talking about when I was mentioning
like
people.
Nobody gives a flute.
Girl, why are you fighting? Hey,
About
look,
what?
we don't curse on your podcast. We can curse on mine. I curse all the motherfucking time. Goddamn. Goddamn.
No, like people just. I'm not against anyone expressing opinions. I have a podcast full of opinions, but I think that people tend to want to influence other people a little too much, and that is like probably a little problematic because you're assuming that people like you're right, or you know, like you're better, or like you're the only one with, like, you know, it's just like ease up.
People, I'm gonna say it like this, and it goes to cancel culture and this very simple concept that's sort of driving cancel culture. And what I refer to as a coward is a coward is a person who's afraid to face reality. So either they become a passive coward and they retreat from reality and they barricade themselves within their identity, or they become an aggressive coward and they try to injure things for their amusement and satisfaction. There are a lot of people out there who love criticizing things because the only thing they want to do is injure others for their amusement and satisfaction, and anything that they can get their grubby little mitts on becomes a weapon. So if you have an opinion, their opinion is not designed to offer a perspective. It's instead meant to injure. It's meant to invalidate. It's meant to subdue and tear something down.
That's so ugly.
It is, but this is the reason why it's like you see me talk about people on my post who come along, and not in my post, but any post, where they'll see something that's obviously funny or obviously moving, and the one thing that they want to do is come and put a like on it. And you're sitting here like, you didn't even use the like because it's what you actually fucking felt. You put a like there just to be disruptive. You figured out how to use the like as a weapon. You figured out how to use the like as a weapon. It's so cowardly. And I get angry at the cowardice. Not them using the like, not any other thing. It's them saying, hey, I have aggression in me that I don't want to deal with. And instead of dealing with it, I'm going to look around. I'm going to go around searching for things to just make small and invalidate so I can feel powerful. And I'm like, and as a person who actually appreciates and loves people, it hurts my soul because I'm like, you're stronger than that. I respect you more than that. I want to have the highest level of respect for every person that I interact with, and for you to settle on this fledgling power, this modicum of power, for you to be a petty tyrant in such a pathetic way, it hurts my soul for you. And I just want to find them and hug it out with them, like, man.
What is behind that, though? What is behind the lack of ability, willingness to kind of just say, hey, I'm scared, I need some help. Or because I don't like the way I feel when I'm dealing with this.
Society trains us to stay in character. It trains us to hold the line and present to everyone else this image of togetherness that many people simply aren't living. Hey, I'm not as together as I like to present myself as being, and I'm scared and I need help. And anybody who comes to me with that honesty.
Could you imagine if social media was honesty?
Oh.
Just honesty centric? If people were just like, hey,
dog,
ignore this picture I took with this filter. I look like shit sometimes.
Right. And guess who's right there in their corner? This man right here. Mm-hmm. Hey, you look like shit sometimes. Guess who looks like shit sometimes too, or more than sometimes? This man right here. Hey, walk it out with your boy. I got you.
I know I said I had a great day today, but I actually took 5 minutes to cry because I miss my ex, or I miss my family. I haven't talked to my dad in a few months. Like, if we just started to confess how we really feel, like, we could support each other.
Thank you. Because that's all I want to do. I want to support people.
This is you supporting other people, for sure.
Well, yeah.
Can I just say,
go for it.
When it comes to support, there's something that I will never, like, run out of gratitude in my heart towards you for. You know, I lost my mom, and I'll never forget you talking me through it. Like, it was like you were there. It was like you were physically there.
Come on.
It was like you were physically there with me. Like, this man sent me a song, and it was this Janae Aiko song. And I played it for my mom while she was on her deathbed. And I don't know what she heard. I don't know if she heard anything I said. But while I played that song, I felt such a connection. I felt like that song gave her the message I wanted her to have before she left. And I'll never, like, forget that you gave me that to give to her. You just gave me a lot there. It was I've never like had such a invaluable gift ever given to me in life.
Girl, you made me tear up. First of all,
it's nuts. You never know what your gesture could mean to somebody. You don't know what anybody's going through. You don't know. You might just be reaching that person in the nick of time at the perfect time. You just don't know. But you can't know if someone doesn't tell you what they're going through, what they need.
Wow.
So I'm glad I told you.
I didn't know it was that deep.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Wow.
It's pretty deep.
That's pretty amazing. Well, it's like, first of all, just wow. I can't thank you enough for that. That just
this guy right here. This guy right here, he's doing it all with just a ridiculous amount of love in his heart, for sure. For sure.
I don't know what to even say to that, man. It's like, honestly, I mean,
I say thank you.
Well, thank you. I'll be honest with you. It's a lot of days.
Thank you, for real. For sure.
A lot of days I do this, man, and I don't know if anybody sees. I don't know if anybody, like, genuinely gets anything from what I do. I try my best to do it because, you know, it's my life calling. And whether or not you believe the circumstances this came to be in my life under or whatnot, it is what it is. And, you know, a lot of times you plugging away and you don't know if anybody is going to get anything away from it. And when you get confirmation of the fact that maybe you did something good, it hits you in a way you probably don't expect it to. So humbly, I thank you.
All heroes don't wear capes.
Let me see. We got some more people coming in. Let me see. Candace. Well, Candace, you're beautiful.
No.
And so is your energy. Hell yeah, you doing it, girl. Let me see. Such a great movie. Also, you don't mind me vibing with y'all as the comments as much as I am. We don't mind you at all. You are here. It's love. We appreciate you, brother. Let me see. Brother Armando, my family escaped in a small boat in the middle of the night from Cuba, 23 people in tow. My parents had 6 children. My mother was pregnant with me. Wow. That's amazing, brother. Jeez. Okay, so we definitely need to, we gotta kick it. I gotta get you on, again, once I upgrade to everything else, it's like, you know, I gotta get you on here. I need to know the full backstory. Brother Daniel, it comes in real talk. Let me see. Leroy comes in. Leroy Green. When you got that glow, you feel the force. You got that glow of the power of elevation. See,
I wasn't ready.
So, see, don't combo natural chemistry makes learning fun. I think Candace.
That is not how you spell my name.
Straight man.
He knows it.
I know.
He thinks about ways to misspell my name on purpose.
That's my man. He's so good.
I got a trick for you.
Brother Leroy Green, Giant Steps, masterpiece, piano player choked. I would have demanded a do-over. I'm sure he probably demanded a do-over, but with Coltrane's, him being so fucking on fire. I mean, like, Coltrane was like, hey, I'm the star of the band. I mean, my part was good. Suck it up. And I mean, like, when you hear the masterfulness of it, you kind of like, I will take choppiness on the piano for that saxophone performance any day, because it was just one of those things where you're kind of like, you can't, that's lightning in a bottle. It's lightning in a bottle. Let me see. Brother Daniel comes in. Vibe attracts your vibe. Honored to be part of his at whatever degree I am. You have helped me get through mental and emotional roadblocks as well, sir. Thank you, God. Man, y'all making my heart tear up, man. I appreciate y'all. Like, dude, if you just knew, like, honestly, a lot of times I really feel invisible, man, but it's who sees what I do and who doesn't. It's not up to me. My job is to show up and just do the work, and it's kind of like going into that house It's like you get in there, and when you find out you're this thing I purport to be, again, I'm not trying to sell anybody on it. When you find out you're this thing, first thing you see is this huge fucking mess, and it just seems overwhelming. And the only thing that you have at your disposal is, well, at least I can start.
Your intention.
And when you start, and you discipline your mind to keep going, before you know it, you hit flow state. When you hit flow state, you still got a lot of shit in front of you. There's a lot of stuff to be done. But you look back at all you've done and you're like, God damn, I really accomplished that? And every now and again, somebody comes along and says, hey, man, you helped me in this way. You made this sort of impact on me, and I appreciate you for it. And anytime I get that sort of feedback, my heart is so full of joy and happiness and appreciation. I don't even know how to articulate it. I genuinely appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Like,
it's a good feeling.
it is. One love, my brother. brother Armando, yo, I got that glow. I love Supreme. Yes, it is. And I know you got the glow, man. This is fire, man. Shit, we out here, we chilling, we getting it done. Strange. I talk big shit, man. It's like I have fun. I don't take myself too seriously. You can't take yourself too seriously, because that's a sure sign of mental. That's a sure sign of mental instability. If you lose the ability to laugh at yourself, if you lose the ability to sort of like look at the ridiculousness of who and how you are, trying to stay in character for a world around you that's held together with fucking band-aids and wishes, then you might be crazy.
You have no mental elasticity if you can't laugh at yourself, sounds like.
Everybody, round of applause for this lady. Tell me she ain't on fire tonight.
Don't be a little brittle, you
can't be.
Piece of clay.
You can't be.
Be some rubber or something.
It be some water. Hey, like Bruce Lee said, be like water.
I like it. There's my boy, Bruce Lee.
Oh shit! It's like, you know what? I would panorama. Oh no, you can't kind of see it. It's kind of in
see
frame.
my poster.
It's kind of in frame.
My fave.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that movie. That shit is fire. This shit is crazy. I'm genuinely glad that we did this. This shit is fire. So you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. We're reaching the hour point right now. So shit. I guess it's like we can go ahead and wrap it up. Yo, you got some final thoughts?
This was fun.
Touche.
I had a good time.
All right.
This is a good conversation. I'm always tuning in, so I feel very flattered that you had me on your show.
Man.
And thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad. I've been telling everybody I was going to do this for a minute. And, this is the first time that it's like, because we're going to shoot your podcast right after this.
We have more work to do. So I do have a podcast. I'm going to just quickly plug myself, which I hardly ever do, but I'm going to do today. The Intuitive Introvert. You can just, put that into Spotify or Apple or Google Cast or Overcast or Spotify. Did I say Spotify? Whatever. Anchor. I'm there. The Intuitive Introvert. Got a few episodes for you guys, so check it out at your leisure.
She fire. She had me on one show, and if you want to hear me be a drunken mess.
It was hilarious.
It was funny. I was like, man, I'm sitting here, what did you put in this?
And your boy Patch was doing the most in the beginning of the episode.
Sister Candace, brother, I'm sorry, comes back in. Sister Candace is definitely killing it. The vibe was so awesome. The energy is being shared through the screen. Hey, ATL.
Can they meet Patch?
Can they? Please?
Let me go get the boy.
Make sure he doesn't knock the camera over, but we're good.
I'm just gonna escort him.
No, please. By all means. This your spot? This your world?
Come here, boy.
Aww. Y'all gotta see this dog. He's the cutest dog.
It's
King Charles Cavalier.
His tail is wagging.
Oh, hey. It's good to see you too.
This is the boy. Jeez. Come on, man. I know.
Okay. Good dog. Yay. Oh man, Hercules. Let me see.
That was the third cast member for tonight.
Yeah, he was. He was chilling. He was getting it done. He was getting another. Let me see. Thank you for the vibe session. Thank you, Intuitive Introvert on YouTube. Let me see. Yes, the puppy. Yes, darkness, people, darkness. So anyway, yo, hey, check this out. As we pull.
I'm not on YouTube.
You're not on YouTube. She's on Spotify. She's on
Apple
Podcast. And here's what she's gonna do. As soon as she posts the link to the podcast, I'm gonna post it on my page too, because it's gonna. I would post it either way, but it's gonna have me as well. So it's like y'all can check out what we do on her podcast. She does an audio podcast, but it's flame. What else can you say? It's flame. ATL. I took that from was it Jamal the Creative and Fenarios? ATL. Yeah. So let's go.
We gotta come up with a dance for you.
Yeah, I do. It's like I gotta dance, but it's bad.
Like, hey.
Yeah, it's a bad dance. I'll what's the word I'm looking for? I'll debut it once I've worked out the silhouettes and the high kicks. Then it's like, you know what I'm saying. Then you can see what I'm working with. But yo, hey, so here's what we got. Y'all already know what the deal is. Obviously, with at least with respect to mine, you can check me out on Facebook. Obviously, we're streaming this on Facebook Live. I'm also on Instagram, Avatar Cycle XIII. That's Avatar Cycle 13. I am on YouTube at Donald King, well, DRK Side 76. That's my old email, but it's like it goes with what I'm doing. And then also you got Medium. I post content to Medium. And also you can check me out if you guys get any sort of appreciation out of what I do and you want to help me move this to a larger platform and get a better setup and things of this nature and get to a position where it's like I can have more people on and be working with something bigger, because I want to reach as many people as I possibly can. You can always join the Patreon family, again at Avatar Cycle XIII, Avatar Cycle 13, and that's Donald King. And you can also, if you get any sort of appreciation out of what we do and you just want to throw a little bit of love, you want to
Salt Bay him.
Yeah, Salt Bay. We pass the collection plate around, and you can hit me up at Donna King on Cash App. All proceeds go to building this up to a larger platform. Again, I greatly appreciate you all kicking it with your boy. Tonight, getting it done. Oh, Sister Sophie came in. I definitely missed this one, but I'll tune in next time. You guys inspire me. We miss you, girl. No, wait, I gotta get my Michael Jackson voice on. Girl. The way you're making me feel. I'm bad. I'm terrible. I try to be funny, but I'm not. Yeah, it's like, you know what? This will be posted to my wall, Sister Sophia. So if you want to check it out after we're done, man. Great energy. I mean, just brilliant woman. Really balanced out what I do, and hopefully I didn't hopefully it was a good balance. Hopefully it was good balance coming from my end. I'm not psychic. I can't.
This was a pretty interactive time. It was really fun.
It was. I enjoyed it. Strong shade.
Good job, Donald.
Good job to you as well. Strong shade. Thank you kindly. Thank you. All right. Anyway, yo, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's your man and Miss Candace.
Bye.
Yo, we out.